Hello MMA Quarantiners, this is Julian Lung of the Fight Site with a non-UFC study of Natan Schulte. Just a reminder, if you like this video, please give us a like, share, and subscribe, or consider subscribing to our Patreon. It supports us and keeps our lights on. So anyways, let's talk about Natan Schulte. Schult is currently the champion of the lightweight division in PFL. He's on a 9-fight win streak against good competition and has won 2 consecutive PFL seasons. So what makes Schult an interesting fighter? Well, to start, Schult feels like a throwback to the previous dominant champion of PFL, Justin Gaethje. What Schult likes to do is drive a high-paced pressure fight, where he can chop at the legs and smash his opponent with kicks and punches. But what separates the two fighters is Schult's simplicity in the pocket and grappling entries. Schult isn't the sellout puncher that Gaethje was, and his stance represents that. Schult likes to keep his weight on the back leg in order to give his lead leg the most amount of room to kick and also check kicks. His kicks are something to take a special note of. He tends to throw his kicks with no chamber. And what this means is that most of his kicks come straight from the hips rather than a full body swing. To trade some of the power for a faster kick. It also makes catching and checking kicks harder to predict because the lack of telegraph means Schult can land more frequently and often. Schult also struggles to catch up with opponents, mainly because his weight is often on the back foot, and he isn't able to cut the cage off consistently. This also leads him to his plodding footwork, where he struggles in open exchanges. While Schult is a great volume kicker and has the cardio to keep it up, his boxing can be functional at times and frustrating in another. This is because he relies on the double forearm guard, which is why I compare him to Justin Gaethje. But what Schult fails to do is move his head off center line when covering up. Added to that, he stands up high to throw kicks, so he hardly bends at the knees and waist. Against better fighters like Ahmed Aliyev and Loic Rajabov, they would routinely throw 1 or 2 strikes against his guard to get Schult to shell up, and then blast away the openings to the body and the head around the guard. For a fighter that relies on his pressure, Schult hasn't necessarily found a way to defend himself when he gets into the pocket. Added to that, when he exits the pocket, he can do it on a straight line. And on occasion, he can actually close the door very nicely when he isn't running straight back. But what makes Schult's game work, given its inherent problems, is his clinch game. Schult is a judoka, which means a lot of his game is built around pressure kicking and clinch tie-ups. This is because whenever Schult is pressured by his opponents to stop his kicks, he feels comfortable tying up in the clinch. The most common series of techniques he runs through is the head pin, one-hand bicep tie, and one-hand collar tie. This gives him the best leverage to throw punches, kicks, and knees, and elbows. He also turns this into a double collar tie, or he just gets trips in the clinch. Schult can also shoot double legs, and often finds a lot of success because his opponents are so obsessed with headhunting on his guard, and as a result, all of his PFL finishes are by submission. Natan Schulte has proven to be very interesting and a different look from other fighters. He's determined to fight his way and make subtle tweaks in that space. Against Rajabov, Schult started off the fight poorly. Even though he stunned his opponent, Schult was routinely outworked in the pocket as Rajabov would tap at his guard in order to blast hooks and uppercuts around it. But Schult was able to pull it back by showing some improved head movement in the pocket, bobbing and weaving to throw hooks in short distances. His love for the low kick and front kick eventually winded Rajabov, and he faded pretty quickly. But as an analyst, it's incredibly concerning to see a prospect of talent take so much damage in what should be before his prime. But Natan Schulte has shown to be a tremendous talent, with a great chin, amazing cardio, and an iron will. Will he go to the UFC? That seems unlikely as he can pick up his $1 million checks each year at PFL. But regardless, as a fight fan, it's a great time to sit down and catch up with some fighters outside the UFC. Until next time, fight fans.